Salutations, citizens, Jackman here, and I have BO. Yeah, in the brief window in which I loaded this game up and sort of started recording, I came up with a message saying I got BO, so I've got flies buzzing around me now, which is, well, it's not great. Unfortunately, I don't have a lint roller. I probably should have bought one for exactly this situation. I can go and buy one real quick. Yeah, it's only down the road. I won't bother with the fast travel. It's a sign of bad fast travel, I think, when not using it, when you have to sort of weigh up whether using it is actually faster or not.
Oh, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
That to me is bad fast travel. I think that's a really that's a reasonable sort of level of quality, of determining quality is, will this actually take me longer than just moving over there myself? And that from that distance is negligible. What I'll do is I'll go speak to the concierge dude, well, concierge mode David, and I will buy a lint roller. Now he should be. So I looked up a couple of things. There's mostly only information about like the very early chapters and stuff like that. So, which is quite useful because this is where I am. That's what I want.
Serving you is my great. Please do.
Yeah, because I don't want to go to my room just yet because it'll end the day, I think. So, there we go. That should. That didn't get rid of the flies. I thought that would clean. Damn it.
Very please.
Do I have anything that gets rid of BO? What does that do? Rolls around to clean yourself up a little. Yeah. Oh, mint gum. That's what I need.
Serving you. Please do.
So I guess there's a different measure for dirtiness and BO. Interesting. I still have flies though. Give me another one. I don't.
Very please.
Let me read the description. Does it just slow down? Gets rid of your BO by a decent amount? No.
Serving you is. Please do let me know if there.
Sure, I can't just buy it and use it from the inventory, but. Okay, well I've reduced my BO. I don't know why I've still got flies buzzing around me, because I've cleaned myself and reduced my BO. I guess they're there now. So I looked it up regarding the like what side quests are still available. As far as I can tell, there's no side quest that I've got that isn't available tomorrow. It isn't available in Chapter 2. The bead side quest, in order to get the 5 beads for the Voodoo Shop Dude's accessory, I have 4 of them, and I just need to finish them. Well, no, I've started 4 of them, I should say. One of them is the drink every day at the bar side quest, which I am going to go into the bar to do now. One of them is the Killer Bee side quest, but I think I have to do a couple of those with different animals. I think I have to go kill dogs next, so yay. And I think Avery has another mission. I didn't think to speak. I got to remember to speak to people when I turn in side quests in case they have a follow-up side quest. So I'm hoping if I zoom in at the map. Alright, he's not there anymore, so I'm going to have to find Avery at some point and talk to him. Also, I should be able to pick up a mission from Tyrone. But only... So Tyrone works as both the priest and the clinic doctor. And so I have to talk to him whilst he's in clinic doctor mode. So hopefully that's now, because he's still at the church. But if not, I'll just have to try and come back tomorrow. I didn't look up. As I said, it's literally 2 days after this game came out, so there aren't a huge amount of guides available yet. So I'm kind of sort of shooting in the dark a little bit. The other one is the shower quest. So I need to go and find David at about 4:30 in the hotel. That's apparently when he's in concierge mode. At the moment, you think he's in chef mode? Actually, I don't know what mode he's in, because he's not in bellboy mode. Ah, so here we go.
How pitiful.
So if I talk, pitiful lost lamb, it appears that your investigation's going nowhere and you can't even keep up with healthcare. Really? I feel incredibly healthy, though. That's the problem. It's not good to be healthy? Lost lamb, you're a profiling expert, yeah? Which means analysing the thoughts and actions of your investigation subjects is your duty, is it not? Indeed it is. Sometimes you even need to become them and predict what their next move will be. Yes, that's right. And the more perfect your prediction, the better things go for you, yes? Yes, I completely agree, Tyrone. That is the true core of my job, to overlap myself with abnormal criminals. Then it's important for you to study hard about who you're truly dealing with. Not just important, it's vital, so that I don't get swallowed up by the darkness. The Lord hungers. Lost lamb, expose yourself to the freezing chills and test your faith. If you think you're a true pro, you should be able to freely control your health. Experience the chills, then return to me. So, because this is what I think it is. He wants me to go as far as contracting a disease in order to prove that I'm a professional profiler. It kind of makes sense, though. Know the enemy and know yourself in 100 battles and you will never be in peril. That's a quote from an old Chinese book on military strategy. You know, I'm always up for a challenge. Let's contract the sickness he requested and prove to him that we're true pros. So I need to get the chills. So I don't know how to get that one.
How?
Will he tell me if I talk to him? The Lord hungers. No, he just repeats.
How?
I can get a checkup from him, I suppose.
You did, as pitiful as it may seem. We humans have little control over the state of our own health. Someone may seem very healthy, only to find out they're suffering from a severe disease after taking a test. I've encountered many lost lambs who fell into that very predicament. Allow me to pray that the same doesn't happen to you, my son. Okay. To restore your life and status. Sure. I'm a bit wounded. And take good care of yourself now.
Thanks for the help. By the way, Pastor, or should I call you Doctor, why is this town's clinic part of the church? It's hard for me to believe that two intricate facilities such as these would mesh well together.
Pitiful. Pitiful. Don't you find it convenient that one can come to pray and also check up on their health at the same time?
True. That's very convenient, Doctor. But is convenience the only thing that matters in our world? Being able to bowl while you eat is certainly entertaining. But this is a different matter entirely. Does the Lord know that his lost lambs are all coming here to pick up their painkillers right after service? Do the coughs and moans ever mix in with the hymns? Doesn't the smell of antiseptics or the ambulance sirens ever interrupt morning prayer?
Pitiful. Pitiful. The will of the Lord is far greater and far deeper than what we could ever comprehend. You see, the Lord does not possess emotions in the way we think of them, and he certainly never feels anger. Besides, churches have always been used as field hospitals since long ago. Back in the days when our people were more violent and hungry for war.
You've got a point. But we aren't in wartime right now. Aren't you worried about more peaceful problems? For example, if a patient, or even one of your nurses, starts making a confession during a surgery, would you stop the surgery and focus on their confession? Or would you continue the surgery and listen to the confession whenever you take a breather?
I would focus on the surgery, of course. After all, There is no need for me to listen to any confessions personally. The Lord listens to them all himself.
Then what about this? During surgery, a patient asks you to euthanize them. What if they beg you to let them die so that they can go and be with God? What would you do?
You pitiful lost lamb.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'd just like to clear up all the questions that popped into my mind. Answer me, Doctor. Would you let them die, or would you ignore their pleas?
Regardless of the case, I would never abandon any life I encounter. Not as a servant of God, nor as a human being. And I'm sure the same goes for you, Agent York. Besides, I'm only a physician. I may bandage up wounds every now and then, but I never perform surgeries.
I see. Another perfect answer. Well then, Doctor, or should I say Pastor, whatever you are, please just allow me to ask one final question. How do you use the profits you earn from the clinic? They aren't offerings or donations. It's nothing but pure profit, yes? I'm just wondering about how you deal with this in terms of U.S. tax law.
Oh, so pitiful. Oh, Lord, please save this poor lost lamb. Pitiful.
Okay. I like that you look. York's just like, I have a few hypothetical situations for you, Dr. Pastor. No, this is like, yeah, it's just a tax dodge. It does feel like, because they combined the gun store and the voodoo store, and now they've combined they combined the bowling alley and the restaurant, which is, I suppose, probably makes the most sense out of the three of them. And they've now combined the clinic and the church. Now, I mean, there wasn't a clinic or a church in Deadly Premonition, but it seems to me that that's like an opportunity to have two separate NPCs, and that just now merges into one. The thing I'm worried about is just the lack of NPCs. So, Deadly Premonition had like 30 something in characters, because it had the alphabet characters and then had the nickname characters and one dog. That's only chapter 1, and you know I've only met 3 of the Clarksons, so plus there's a load of characters I have met but they just won't talk to me, like Emma, who's the skateboard lady, and Professor J, who is maybe a criminal. We're not sure yet. How do I get sick anyway? Have the game told me how I do that? No. I don't know how I get sick. I guess maybe I stay out late? Or... Well, I mean, generally... It would be like getting wet and then not drying myself off would be how I would get... Well, the flies have gone. I guess they just don't go away until you've like transitioned through a door or something. Let's go to the bar. I know what I need to do there. Dang it! No, there. While it's loading, I suppose I can just I can Google. This is the power I have available to me. Deadly Premonition 2 chills. So yeah, he asks me to do a series of okay, I'm not immediately getting a response. I might have to look that up later. My guess would be staying out all night, or something, or which I can't do because I get attacked by monsters. It's a silly thing. So maybe just staying up, like letting my because I got medicine to cure me when I get sick. Very little side effects and quite powerful when used to alleviate chills and colds. That's fine. It's just a little typo. So, but I can't get into the water, so I don't know how I'm supposed to make myself wet and catch a cold. Maybe if I get myself dead drunk. Maybe if I, like, dead drunk and pass out, I'll wake up with a cold. Oh no, because there's a different medicine to cure hangovers, I think. I really don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, still no Professor J. Hey, Xavier. What's today's drink that you're going to tell me the wrong information about again, probably? I won't look it up this time. This is Wednesday's cocktail, a red eye. It's made from mixing beer and tomato juice at a 1-to-1 ratio. Simple and healthy. The perfect way to rest your... I don't know what beer... tomato juice, maybe. The perfect way to rest your liver on Wednesday, right in the middle of the week. Yeah? I see, the perfect way to rest your liver, huh? But if someone really worried about their health, they should just drink tomato juice, shouldn't they? If you just want to drink tomato juice, you wouldn't need to come to a bar. Yeah? He doesn't really care about his customers' health, he just wants to keep them coming back in. Zach, remember this film? Cocktail, 1988, directed by Roger Donaldson. One of the representative works of Tom Cruise, the legendary film star. Are you sure you're not going to call him Tom C? It's a classy, elegant piece, and it features a red eye. But in that film, the drink is made using beer, tomato juice, and a raw egg. It looked so delicious at the time, but I still wasn't old enough to drink, so I just made one without the beer. I'll never forget how it tasted. You still remember too, don't you? The gloopy taste of that raw egg. You know, I think I'll just stop there. Cool.
So sometime, yeah.
We're having a red eye today. Boom. I don't even know why they bother playing the cutscene if it's not even gonna, like, do anything different. But, you know, whatever. Oh, I forgot I picked that.
You'll be back. Yeah, remember.
Yeah. So that one didn't even get me drunk. Okay, so that one I need to turn in. That one I need to go down at a different time. That one I'm working on. Drink all 7 course of 1 week. That one I just picked up. That one I have to do loads of other quests to do. That one, that gets me one of the ones as well. So there's no point doing that one basically until I've done. Unless it's not it's not the first one that does it, and I have to do all of his to get the bead. Either way, oh, I need to defeat a squirrel before I go home. Okay, let's go and let's very, very quickly shoot a squirrel, and then we'll go home and trigger what I imagine will be Chapter 2. We might go back to 2020. Because I think it's 2020. The late 2010s, at the very least. I'm sure it was set. It was 5 years. So this is 2005. That's definite. They've confirmed that. And it was. Maybe it's only 2018 in Boston. It was only 8 years after. It's weird. You think they'd just do it 2020 because it's the year that the game came out, but I guess maybe they've been working on it a while. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. If we cut back, they will hopefully tell us the year, and then I can go, aha. I promise you that I will go, aha. So there should be some squirrels around these houses. Squirrels seem to sort of stick to residential areas, so I do wish there was a way to not do that. I do wish there was a way to kind of zoom the minimap out a little bit so that I could see a bit further down the road. Let's skateboard a little bit. Oh, it's a bit late to
Zach,
point it
you're
out.
A coffee person, right? No
But,
sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm
Shush.
cooking.
Shush, York. There's some red dots. Oh, there's a dogs, though. I need squirrels. Maybe squirrels are on the other side of the river.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess.
Shush. It's really annoying they have to keep getting off to get them to stop talking. The colour of York's skateboard is dependent on what
This
Joy-Con
town
you
sure
put
is
in.
peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
That's an alligator. So York's currently has a blue skateboard. Hang on, let's see if you can... There you go. A blue skateboard underneath, because I have a... I guess it's the left Joy-Con it goes based on? I don't know. I'm actually using a controller, but I guess it's supposed to be black if it's a Pro controller, but I guess it doesn't register this, this controller I'm using as a Pro controller. It's not a Pro controller, because they're expensive, but it is a cheap official Nintendo controller, so... But yeah, I guess it still just registers the...
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
I guess it still just registers the Joy-Cons, but it's it's a cute little feature.
Hey, Zach.
That's really all. That's really it.
Just felt like saying that.
I need to find a squirrel, and then I can go to bed. I suppose it's not the end of the world if I fail the free mission, but there might be a penalty for failing a free mission, so. I figure I might as well do them. Where are all the bloody squirrels? But I swear, when I was scared around earlier, I couldn't get away from them, and now that I want one, they're nowhere to be found. Like buses. I freaking find it though. I was beginning to think that they didn't, that squirrels maybe didn't appear in, after a certain time of day. There we go. I lost an anti-num, but in the process I got a $7.77. And whatever I got for completing the actual mission, I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, let's go to the hotel, go to sleep, and start chapter 2. Let's check my evidence board and see
Zach,
where
let's
we are.
go over our progress.
What if he's going to ask me
We've
quiz
got a
questions?
complicated
like he did
case on
before?
our hands this time, especially as far as the Clarksons' relationships go. But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind all this. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
Okay.
Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family.
It's the investigation music. I think I was saying this last time, and I went on a tangent, but I'm surprised they got as much of the music back, considering Swery's relationship with the previous developer. But I guess in getting the rights to Deadly Premonition, you must have got all the rights to all the music as well. So, woohoo!
Her mother is
yes.
Galena, an ex-actress, and Lise clearly inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is?
He's the only other Clarkson we've met. PJ Clarkson, Melvin Woods.
That's right.
Danny.
Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galena and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family. Despite being the son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson. But he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot-tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse.
I mean, considering we just fought a demon with a giant claw, lady in a parallel world. It's entirely possible there is a 10-foot
Now,
dude
what
here
did this
now.
man do to Lise prior to her murder?
He stalked her, didn't he? Yeah. Stole her chocolate sundae. I'm really tempted to just choose the wrong option sometimes, but...
Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lise around and watched her.
I click on the chocolate sundae, he's like, no, Zach, that was what I did, because I'm a jerk.
Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime.
You didn't inspect the scene of the crime, so...
Zach, we're still missing some puzzle pieces. Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room. The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific. But we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson?
Galena Clarkson. Mrs. Carpenter.
Yes, that's right. Lisa's own mother killed her
She's not missing
while she
anymore.
was dreaming about some bizarre new world.
And it's like, yeah, I know she's not missing anymore, but you put a stamp on a photo, you can't get the stamp back off again. It's the only photo I've got of her, and it's one I took of her back, despite the fact she's in prison, and I could take another photo of her.
This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen.
Is it? Because you talked about your first case being a guy who stuffed people full of organs from other people he killed.
The fact that Galena set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history. The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games. And sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach, through our investigation, we found one character who sticks out more than anyone else. You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling?
That was Professor J. Oh. Professor R.
Professor R. We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle.
Well, this seems very lazy. But... Boonigan? He keeps talking about it, so I should remember her name. It's just sort of like, no, go and do some work on your own. You're supposed to be I can't help you with every case.
Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the Deep South something? The people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What, still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
Yay. Okay, now we do have a loading screen this time. It's always worrisome when it cuts to black. It's like, oh, how long are you gonna cut to black for? Oh, come on, show York in his bed. I want to see whether he's under the covers. That was the most impressive piece of tech in the first game. You've already got pajamas for him. It'd be a shame not to keep using them. Oh, the tension's killing me. Come on, load faster. I want to see what's next. Oh, these aren't pajamas.
Galena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
names, and that's PJ.
If what you say is true, Daniel, how do you plan to prove it? It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control of Lucari. 100 years. I always thought my legacy would live on for 300 at least.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Yet it looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more. You understand me, boy.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you, Paul. I'm gonna continue what you started, sir, and make the Clarkson family strong again. But first, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Lucari has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
Yes, sir. Believe me, I do. I'll kill him. Just leave everything to me, Paul.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now. That's the job I've been given, and I intend to do it.
Well then, let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm a Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm. Then I'll need an arm.
Yeah. What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this. Just one arm. Slide it on through that wire there, and it'll take care of it for you.
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
No, but...
If you want to become a real Clarkson, then you done got yourself a job to do.
Wait, Paul, I get it now. You want me to stick it in and then pull it out at the last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way. You can't be serious, sir. Hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me. Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
Seems a bit excessive.
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do.
And as a Clarkson, I vibrate slightly at all times.
That be the law of this land.
Okay, well I know her with a hat. She's Emma the skateboard repair person. I don't know her. I don't know him. Do I know him? No, I don't think I do. Okay, cool. There's a nice jazz interlude, I suppose. I still don't think the Clarksons are... Yeah, that was the end of episode 1. I still don't think the Clarksons are bad guys. Because, I've got an S rank for completion time 24 hours. I mean, I haven't played for a day, I promise you. It's just the time is weird. But, cool. That was worth an S, apparently. Two excessive force, 2 breach of contact, 1 pedestrian damage. So that was 2 breach of contact was me shooting Patty twice. One was just to find out whether I could. So the pains were 75 Capitanos and 17 Pulcinellas, 50 red shadows, 1 alligator, 25 squirrels, 12 white dogs, 33 killer bees. I don't know what the difference is between the Capitanos and the Pulcinella. They both seemed the same, but I guess there was a slight difference in some of the enemies I was fighting. But cool. S rank. I did it. Episode 2. The story moves on. Yeah, so I don't think they are the bad guys. They're obviously bad guys. And I imagine most of the Clarksons will die. Ooh.
You can hear me, right?
I have no...
With you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies. I'm so excited, York.
The yogurt smoothie sounds fine, but the peanut butter hamburger sound interesting.
Please, York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
I couldn't see the face of his fairy clearly. I think it might be Emily, though. Okay, it's 2019.
So,
Storm
Lisa's
brewing.
mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her.
I think she went insane a little while before that, but yeah.
What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Lucare report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report.
Oh, okay, so I guess the profiling bit isn't used as often.
As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files: metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
But
Oh, sorry.
no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on. Come on.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
Let's have a look at these old,
Stack of
messy
old
letters. Oh, that's the Clarksons, yeah.
These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report. That dragonfly mark proves it. Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times.
Wait, hang on. Patricia Clarkson? So does Patty become a Clarkson? Or is she a Clarkson? Maybe Candy is a Clarkson and so she changed her name. Oh, the plot thickens.
And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
I bet it's Zach or possibly York, because York's no longer here. He's kind of in the other realm now, continuing his pledge to protect her from all evil.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Okay.
Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out?
Oh, the bits where I talked about demons. I didn't like that bit. Although it's interesting because it's not actually... Hang on. So she can do that too, but I don't know what purpose that has in this setting, because it just highlights stuff I already know. I'll keep doing it, though, just in case it does something.
Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here.
Because in all these instances, Zack wasn't actually in control. He was, York was, and it's just Zack's body. So I guess Zack's reporting on this as kind of a second party.
One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
That's probably FK.
Someone in charge must have thought it was unimportant. Or maybe even inappropriate.
Why would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says. Sapling salesman.
Yeah.
All the
Forrest
other
Casey.
redacted parts seem to be connected to this person. But I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report. Why is he so untouchable?
Oh, him. He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist. You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
So I'm guessing after the fact, York figured out that Forrest wasn't the mastermind. I mentioned this at the end of Deadly Premonition, but apparently Willie is the mastermind of Deadly Premonition, but it's just there wasn't enough time to explain that. So it's just like very lightly implied at the end.
Someone
Nothing.
stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out? Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it. It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic, you know?
It's not that precise, because it doesn't say the body was stored in the cold storage container owned by the Clarksons.
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here.
I feel like this is going to go on again for a little while, but... Oh, I see. So when I use that, it tells me what the important one is. because so nervous Simon is. So I need to inspect everything
That's the
other than
window
that.
that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew. Must be rather expensive to rent a place like this in Boston. How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there, your bedroom?
Why so curious, Belle? It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us. There's no need to act so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Well then?
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
Yeah, I get the feeling we're never going to leave this room. Maybe right at the end.
Films teach us all we need to know? That's ridiculous. I'd rather read a book than watch a stupid movie.
Oh, she's one of those people.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
Huh? What?
I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs. Not a single Blu-ray in sight, just pure, unadulterated DVDs. And he's got VHS tapes, too.
Oh, Spaceballs!
I don't even have a VHS player in my house anymore. Whoa, look at this. Check it out.
Yeah!
This one's got a lot of pizza in it, remember?
You're not wrong, Simon. There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film. 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Oh, seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being recorded.
Yes, I want this to go on record. Okay.
Agent Jones is completely checked out, despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here. Agent Jones! Are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kinda nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing.
I'm really suspicious of Simon, and I don't know why.
Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
Forrest has taught me that the comical, lovable sidekick character is now the most suspicious person in the world. Shameless laugh. Even the subtitles don't like him.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation.
Okay, so the car files I need to ask.
An elegant antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess, then? This is why, instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
Just the usual around here. No need to worry.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives upstairs. Every now and then, he makes noise.
Oh.
What's strange about him?
Several years ago, a woman was murdered upstairs.
He lives in the apartment below David Young's. Oh.
Her husband still lives there.
He totally lives but in the apartment below David Young's.
He's ex-BPD, and apparently he's still searching for the killer. But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding.
That's a tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that Microsoft cut the funding to Dark Dreams Don't Die. Oh, I knew it had to be David Young's
The team on
apartment.
the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits wouldn't hear of it.
Yeah.
A tale as old as time. Due to his situation, perhaps, he's been making a lot more noise recently. Like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now and then.
I just assumed that was his cat girl jumping around.
But I didn't think they were real noises coming from upstairs. I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him. So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
You really amaze me sometimes.
That is a fairly big oversight that you didn't know that someone from the BPD was living in the apartment above.
So far, everything
good.
checks
I'm
out
glad
with
we
the
got an
report.
answer about that. I actually didn't think they were going to address it, but it's nice to know that we do have a conclusive. Literally, York lives in the apartment below David Young, so that Swery could make a tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that Microsoft wouldn't fund a sequel to Dark Dreams Don't Die, or a part 2, I should say.
But there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense. He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation? And metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words. After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know.
Okay, I guess we're going back to... Nope.
Yes.
Yes, yes! Play with me! Play with me, darling!
I think I'm going to have to put a not safe for work warning on this episode, because... yeah, that's going to cause some confusion. It's also making this just... Every click is making this worse.